Hello, today we're going to talk about the animal kingdom, and we're going to focus a little bit on symmetry and some other important definitions that are going to help us in learning the animal kingdom. Animals have evolved from the animal-like protists, and nearly 75% of all the species that exist are animals. So there's about 1.3 million species. Okay? They are all multicellular. They are heterotrophic. We ingest eukaryotes. We have a nucleus. Okay? As far as symmetry, I know you've learned the term symmetry before, but pretty much you can put an animal or whatever object, cut it in half, and there are two mirrored images. So the term asymmetrical means that the organism lacks symmetry. There's no typical body shape. Radial symmetry, body parts radiate from the center. So typically these animals are not moving or passively drifting, and they kind of meet their environment equally on all sides. So you can pass a line through a central point in any direction and produce mirror images, kind of like a bicycle wheel. Okay, typically it's a cylindrical body plan. There's a top or bottom side. You don't really have a front or back or left or right. Okay, and the last one is bilateral symmetry. This can be divided into equal halves along a single plane into right and left side, and you kind of divide from the midline from head to toe. So it's like two-sided symmetry. And these are organisms that are active and travel head first through environment, where a lot of the animals are bilateral. Okay, and this is a good adaptation for movement. So again, this is showing radial symmetry, passing a point in any direction. Bilateral symmetry, dividing it into right and left halves. Asymmetry, again, there's no particular body plan. Okay, so here's some more directional terms, and these are going to be very important as we talk about dissections. Anterior is the front region or the head. Posterior is the tail region or the hind end. Ventral is the underside, the belly. Dorsal is the back side or the top of the organism. And lateral is near the side of the animal. So if you look here, all right, there would be like a dorsal fin up here. Anterior is always the head, the belly is ventral, and posterior is the back or the end. Okay, so we're going to use the C-star to kind of go through an animal life cycle. So we have a sperm and an egg are going to fuse together to form a zygote. That zygote will go through mitosis. So it will keep dividing until it gets to be a ball of cells, which is called the blastula. The blastula will fold inward, which would form what's called the gastrula, and that's where we get our inner germ layers. Now, some organisms go through this larval stage or metamorphosis. So just to kind of show you, okay, sperm and egg unite. Sperm and the egg were formed by meiosis. A zygote forms. Then this goes through repeated divisions to form a blastula. Gastrula is this indentation, and that's what forms the germ layers. Okay? So, the germ layers forms the various tissues and organs of the body. We have an ectoderm, an endoderm, and a mesoderm. The ectoderm, okay, is the outer germ layer. This gives rise to the outside covering of the animal and sometimes the central nervous system. The mesoderm is the middle germ layer. It's found between the ectoderm and the endoderm. This forms the muscles and the other internal organs of the gut, and sometimes it can be the organs underneath the outer covering. Endoderm is the innermost germ layer, and that will become the digestive tract. That will line that primitive gut that we have. This is just showing you your ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Okay, we're also going to talk about body cavities. A body cavity is referred to as the term coelom. This is a fluid-filled space between the digestive tract and the body wall. Now, it's very important because it's going to cushion the internal organs and enables the animal to grow and move independently. And we do have a couple of different terms. We have the term hydrostatic skeleton. Okay, this is a non-compressible fluid that's in the body cavity of soft-bodied animals. It will provide a rigid structure against which the muscles can contract. Okay, it allows for movement of animals. Okay, the term acoelomate, okay, is no body cavity between the gut and the outer body wall. And we'll see this when we talk about the flatworms. Pseudocoelomates, or pseudocoelom, is a fluid-filled cavity separating the digestive tract from the outer body wall. The cavity is not completely lined with tissue from the mesoderm. Okay, so it is going to be on its way to developing the actual body cavity. All right, and this is going to be characteristics of roundworms. It's kind of like a tube within a tube body plan. So coelomates have a true body cavity, or a true coelom. So it's a fluid-filled body cavity completely lined by tissue derived from the mesoderm. Okay, and we're going to see this when we talk about the annelids, or the segmented worms. So we could further divide the coelomates into proteostomes and deuterostomes. Proteostomes are mollusks, annelids, arthropods, excuse me. The opening formed during gastrulation becomes the mouth. All right, so the mouth will actually form from that blastula and that gastrula. Okay, deuterostomes are echinoderms, chordates. Okay, and the opening formed during gastrulation becomes the anus. So the mouth will form from a second opening. And this is just showing you the different phylums that we will be discussing in the animal kingdom. So we're going to focus in on invertebrates first, and then we'll talk about vertebrates, or the chordates. Invertebrates are animals that do not have a backbone. 95% of the animals are invertebrates. So 34 out of the 35 animal phylum are invertebrates, and we'll be talking about them next. So if you have any questions, see me tomorrow. Thanks.